Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, February the 3rd, 2017. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing some issues about sniping on eBay, media mail, photo glitch, a Uline delivery, and a few other things you guys have asked to talk about. I know a lot of you guys are wondering why I'm in a different location. Why am I at work today? Well guys, I'm running really late. That's the problem. And I'm barely going to have enough time to crank this video out. I would prefer to do it at home, but I can't. I just don't have the time, so let's do this. First of all guys, I hope your sales were good this week. My sales were quite good. I have no complaints. I had no returns or cancellations at all. Knock wood. Even last Friday, no returns and no cancellations. Keep in mind guys, this week is the Super Bowl. Sunday is the Super Bowl, so expect business to be very slow during the game, if there's any at all. In past, I've always been slow during the Super Bowl. The best year I ever had was once about 3 or 4 years ago, and I made 2 sales during the game. If I can make 2 sales during the game, I will be a very happy camper. So guys, I don't know if you want New England to win, or if you want Atlanta to win, or if you guys are just in pools and are worried about what numbers will come up. But I wish you all the best of luck in the game on Sunday. Now, let's talk about Uline briefly. Wait a minute. What's that sound? It's my Uline delivery coming. Come on. It's cold out, but let's have a drink anyway. Yeah, oh yeah. So yeah guys, I can't fool you. I filmed the Uline segment on Tuesday. You can see it was snowing out when I got the delivery, because it rains or snows just about every day here. I bought 4 skid loads of boxes and other materials, and it's interesting to note that if you're buying in quantity, not only do they give you a cheaper price in the catalog, but if you talk to the representative on the phone and ask for special consideration or a special price, they will often do it. For instance, when I purchased some boxes the other day, I bought 500 boxes of my 16 by 16 by 3 box, which is a box that I like to use quite a bit. I didn't really need them. However, they have a graduated price. I think if you buy maybe, let's say 25 or 50, you pay maybe $1 a box. If you're buying up to 500, you pay 93 cents a box. Okay? So I could have got them for 93 cents a box, but I decided to just test the waters, and I said to them, I said, listen, if you're willing to give me a better price, I will order 500 right now. If not, I won't. So she sent the order in with the request, and they got back to me within 15 minutes and said they would sell them to me for 89 cents a box, which is a savings of 4 cents a box. Now, okay, 4 cents doesn't sound like a lot to you, but times 500, yeah, it adds up pretty quick, doesn't it? So that's just a little tidbit, guys, in case you ever want to order in bulk from Uline. They will give you a break on quantity listing, on quantity amounts. I had a very interesting thing happen in the post office regarding media mail, and I want all you guys to listen to this. As you know, media mail is for selling books and literature. It is not for selling other items such as iPhones and things like that. The media mail rate is much cheaper than normal mail, but the post office is very strict that it's got to be media mail. In the past, I don't believe they've really checked too many media mail packages, but with the recent postal increase, they certainly are now. And I saw something wild happen yesterday in the post office. Okay, here's what happened. I'm walking in with my arms full of boxes, okay? I get in the post office, there's a guy coming out. Now, I don't pay him any mind, just some random guy going out. So, I'm next in line because there's nobody waiting. I go up to the counter, and the clerk is opening his boxes upside down. In other words, she flipped them over and was cutting them open and inspecting them. And she's like, "Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is bad." I said, "What's going on?" She goes, "Well, this guy put these items in media mail and he's not supposed to do that. Media mail is for books, magazines, and literature only, not for what he's selling." So I said, "Well, what is he selling?" And it turned out he was selling sports cards, something I know a little bit about. You cannot ship them media mail. It's against the law. So I said, "Well, what happens now?" She says, "I'm going to reseal these boxes and I'm going to send them to the buyer, postage due. The buyer will be responsible for the postage." She said, "I asked the man that was just here if in fact it was books in here. And he said it was. He lied to me." So I said to her, "Well, do you always inspect these boxes, or what criteria do you use?" And she said, "There's two things. Number one, now that the new rates have gone up, when they scan a package that's going via media mail, the computer will randomly tell them when to open a box. So maybe it's 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, I don't know. But they have a computer-generated program that will randomly tell them, open this box, and they have to do it. Number two," she said to me, she said she knew by the weight of the package, it was very light, that there weren't books or magazines in there. Now in this case, I'm not sure if it was discretionary or if she went by the computer prompt to open that man's box. But he had 4 boxes, she opened them all with sports cards, so 4 buyers are going to get banged for extra bucks. My point to you guys, for those of you who use media mail, be careful. Be freaking careful. Use it correctly for books or literature as you're supposed to. I have never used media mail in my life because I don't sell books. But I figured I'd pass that on to you because it's really important. Somebody wrote in and talked about sniping on eBay and a little incident they had, and I'm going to relate it to you because it's worth talking about. For those of you guys who don't know what sniping is when you see something on an auction on eBay. So today's Friday. Let's say something was ending Saturday night at 9 o'clock. There are some people that would bid early, right away, bang, which I don't think is right. I like to wait until the last possible second and throw a bid in at the last moment, almost the penultimate moment, to get the best price and possibly the best deal. That is called sniping. It's perfectly legal and legit, and eBay has no problem with it. However, there are certain programs out there that people subscribe to, supposedly, that will enter your bid for you so you don't have to be online at any particular time. I don't have the names to throw out at you right now, but it's unimportant anyway, because I am told that eBay is blocking these particular programs, that each snipe bid, whether it's a last minute snipe bid or whether it's several hours ahead of time, it doesn't matter, has to be done manually by a particular person. And that in some cases when people were using these programs to try and snipe at the last minute, they were being hit with what they call a captura, where you have to type in those crazy looking numbers and letters, and the program is unable to do that, and therefore the bids were never locked in, and the person did not get to bid on the item. Now, the person that contacted me told me this story, which is worth repeating, and I want your opinion on this. They were watching a certain item that I believe they said was worth $125. The opening bid was $1, no reserve. So this person put it in their watch list, but instead of actually manually bidding on it at the last minute, they used this sniping program. Okay? So when the time came, the program tried to launch the bid. It didn't work. eBay rejected it. Therefore, this person did not get the item. And the seller was forced to sell the item for $1.25 because only one person, I guess, was online manually bidding at that time, and he sold the item for $1.25. Now, my subscriber then contacted the seller and explained to them that they really wanted to purchase the item. It was worth a lot more money, but they were blocked from purchasing it because eBay is blocking these sniping programs. The seller never did get back to him. However, my subscriber was watching the seller's feedback and noticed the seller just received a negative feedback from the buyer who won the item at $1.25. And the feedback said something like, "Seller refused to sell me the item for the winning bid of $1.25. Are you with me on this? Okay, my question to you guys, did the seller, in your opinion, do anything wrong? Did the buyer do anything wrong? Did eBay do anything wrong? It's kind of an opinion question, and I'll give you my take on this. I do all my sniping myself at the very last minute. So the fact that eBay is blocking these sniping programs does not bother me one bit. I don't care. I list all my stuff fixed priced. No auctions. Not for Joey, fixed priced. So it's not going to hurt me. I have no problem being online at the last minute when I'm bidding on an item and want to snipe it. However, let's talk about this case in question. The seller started the item unreasonably low, in my opinion, $1, for an item that's worth $125. I myself would never do that, but he did it, and we have to go with that. I, in my opinion, think the seller should honor the buyer's winning bid for $1.25, even though it's ridiculously low, because it's the chance he took. He could have started the listing at $25, $50, $75, but no, he started it at $1. The buyer or bidder bid, maybe the buyer bid $50, but it only registered as $1.25 because nobody was bidding against him. We don't know that. In any event, the buyer legitimately won the item for $1.25. And I have no complaints with the fact that the buyer negged that seller. Now, I know I am known as a friend of a seller, but guys, if you're going to start your auctions unreasonably low, you have to be prepared to take the consequences. Now, my subscriber said to me, he said, "Joe, I understand your point, but there's one thing you're not taking into account." He said to me, "You're not taking into account the fact that eBay is blocking these programs that do the automatic sniping." I said, well, that really doesn't bother me. And I honestly mean that. But I want to get your guys' feelings. I think all sniping should be done manually by the buyer. Let me tell you a quick funny story from years and years ago. I've told it before, but I know I get new viewers every week, and I want to tell you this really quickly. You longtime sellers will remember that you used to be able to do a bidder search on your competition. So let's say, for an example, there's a man named John Smith who's in the same line as me. He sells hubs. Now, I know John Smith always bids 6 or 7 days too early. So instead of searching methodically on eBay for all the hubs I want to buy, I just search a bidder search using the name John Smith. So I would see a list of what he's bidding on a week ahead of time. I would put everything in my watch list and save it. When it got near time, bang, I would snipe him like crazy because he was wrong for showing his hand a week ahead of time. It's like poker. You don't show your hand. So this is a true story, guys. So this guy John Smith and I, we know each other. So he would call me periodically and we were on good terms and we'd chat on the phone. And I said to him, John, I want you to listen to something, please. Do not bid 4 and 5 days ahead of time. It's stupid. You're showing your hand. Anybody else who's selling hubs can do a bidder search on you and follow you. I said to him, let me tell you, Smith, I said, I search your name every 2 days and I put everything in my watch list and at the end I snipe. So anything you bid on, you're just telling me ahead of time and I'm going to come in and I'm going to bid at the last minute. So he started laughing like it was a big joke. And I didn't see anything funny in that, but I did my good deed. I told him to wise up and not do it, but he wouldn't stop. So I kept sniping him and I kept sniping him. And one day he wrote me a nasty, nasty letter through the eBay contact system. I won't even tell you what he said to me, but he was pissed. All right? Why? I told him not to do it. And he continued to show his hand too early. So, too bad. Then, shortly after that, eBay changed the rules and they hid all bidder IDs, so you can never track people like that anymore. But I think that that story fits very well with today's lesson about sniping. I have no problem with sniping, guys. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Let the aggressive person win it at the best price. That's my feeling. What's your feeling? Okay? I'm really interested in that. It's something we haven't discussed all that much in the past. So guys, I'm rambling on here. I'm going to let you go soon. Let me just cover a few more points. Thank you for all the information you guys gave me about the photo glitch last week. There are several prevailing theories out there, but the one that seems to make the most sense to me are the people that said that they feel the photos are too large. I had thought that might be a problem, but I didn't understand that there are two different servers. For instance, I upload my pictures in my listings, I never have an issue. However, I do have an issue when I'm using the eBay contact system. So now I think I understand a little bit about it. Next time the situation presents itself, I'm going to change the size of the pictures. I'm going to edit them, and I'll let you know what happens. I haven't had to send anything this week, so I don't know yet. Let's do a real quick recap, and I'll let you guys go. Questions I'd like you guys to jump in with. I'd like your opinion on sniping. A, with the story that I told you, where my subscriber wanted to bid at the last minute using a sniping program and failed. Do you guys care? Does it bother you that eBay might be blocking these sniping programs? Then, can you tell me in your opinion from the story that I told you, do you think the seller should have honored that $1.25 bid for whatever the item was and sold it, even though it was worth $125? Opinions on that, please? Media mail. Have any of you guys actually seen the post office checking media mail? Because they're doing it. I saw it. And you know who I am? I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. I am a friend of a seller. I am a seller friend, not a seller critic. Please, questions, comments, concerns below. I will see you next week. Go out there and make some eBay sales. Rock on and peace! Yeah!